for me, the whole intrinsic coaching process, as you recall, Christina, when I first got involved with intrinsic coaching, I sort of stumbled into it in a really serendipitous kind of way, and then it led down a path of me resigning from academia and going off on my own. So it was really a huge influence. It was really a huge life-changing factor for me, and I believe that the thinking behind choices will be a bigger one than that, although perhaps not quite as hitting me upside the head kind of as intrinsic coaching was. That was such an incredibly new concept to me. This is sort of developing on from that initial introduction. I really did think about this as a sort of meta thinking kind of process. Just thinking behind choices it's a deceptively simple phrase. It's one of those things that you can take at its surface meaning, and then when you delve deeper into it, it really subsumes everything we've talked about over these last 100 hours. Everything we do in life is a choice. It is a result of a choice we make, either consciously or subconsciously or unconsciously, and sometimes and to be aware of that thinking is I believe what is the key, to notice yourself and to value that. Is something that sounds a little strange to the uninitiated, if I can use that phrase, but once you get past the novelty of the configuration of those words, it really, for me anyway, it really means something that I don't know if I could even put into words. It's a feeling that suffuses you versus something you can write down. I've loved listening to the group. In fact, I've had conversations with Elizabeth and Anna about different things, and I hope that connection will continue. And I have to say, Christina, that I'm not given to sort of effusive comments. Perhaps it's my Brit upbringing, I don't know. But I do say, and I say this about you often, I talk about you when you're not around, by the way, Christina. And I think in this country, perhaps particularly in America, the word visionary is thrown around, and it often just means, famous or something. And I think you are certainly one of the very few people I've ever met who I would say that word applies to in exactly the way it was meant, its meaning was meant to be. So I thank you for allowing me into this group. I thank my colleagues. I entered this as a personal development thing, but it's turned out to be far more than that, and I see opportunities for a business application. It really expands the thinking that I already had for some of the ways I thought my business could go, in the way I interact with clients, and in the way I interact with my own ideas sometimes. So it's crept into my conversations even without me thinking consciously about it. So I've had there's already been another kind of visceral reaction from these last 100 hours that has taken on a kind of unconscious meaning with me. I don't have to purposefully think about using those words. So I want to thank you, and I want to thank the rest of my group, and I look forward to the next iteration of this whenever it is, and I'll be right there on board with everybody else.